What's up, guys? Mike here, head trader at True Trading Group. March 7th, my biggest day of the year. Ridiculous action on BPTH. Huge day for me. I traded this stock 3 times, 3 big wins each time. I'm going to go over all 3 trades with you guys. There's, I don't even know what specific lessons I'm going to talk about, but there's going to be a bunch. There's so much that I want to cover with you on this BPTH, mental, technical. So I'm just going to get started. And I'm just going to right off the cuff what comes to my mind as I go through all 3 of these trades with you. But huge day today. Congratulations to the True Trading Group members. A lot of people had their biggest days of the year. Also, we had a lot of members that actually had their biggest individual trade ever. Some people their biggest day ever. Congratulations to those members. This was awesome. And today was really small cap mania because it wasn't just BPTH. There was tremendous action on, okay, here's SEAL. Like the entire top gainer list is small caps. GTXI, okay, huge ridiculous move. ARQL, huge move. Okay, RBZ going into the close. This ALT, huge move. Okay, I mean, you're just talking about huge move after huge move today in these small cap names, and it was just crazy. The one thing that I will say before I get into the actual trades, because we had a couple members in chat that I was really, really proud of today, and I know there's probably many of you that are watching this video that probably kind of dealt with the same thing. This BPTH was an extremely volatile trade. Extremely volatile. It made very violent moves. The market was extremely thin. These are the kind of trades that can eat inexperienced traders alive. These are the kind of trades that, are really a pro trade. And some people just are not comfortable with such high levels of volatility like you saw in BPTH. And that is okay. You cannot make a trade in a stock that you are not comfortable with. If you are not comfortable with the stock you're trading and comfortable with the level of volatility that stock has, your emotions are going to take over when you're in that trade. And when you trade with emotions, you make mistakes. When you make mistakes, you lose money. So there were some members in chat that just weren't comfortable trading BPTH. So what did they do? They took the same lessons, the same rules, the same strategies, and they applied it to other small caps like GTXI, like ALT. And they nailed those moves. And I can't tell you how proud I am of those members because all I traded today was BPTH. So I'm talking about BPTH, nonstop in chat because I traded it 3 separate times throughout the day. So it was obviously I'm talking about it all day. Obviously, everyone on Twitter and StockTwits and social media, everyone's talking about BPTH. So it can be difficult for you to not trade it and for you to trade something else. And that shows tremendous self-discipline that a lot of those members were saying to themselves, you know what, this BPTH is just a little too crazy for me. I'm going to go focus on GTXI. I'm going to go focus on ALT. And they nailed those trades. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I'm going to start this video with saying that. If you're not comfortable with the volatility of a stock you're trading, do not trade it. Okay, there's no style points in trading. P&L is P&L. Okay, there's no style points. Doesn't matter where you get your P&L from. Okay, at the end of the day, it's the same money. Okay, there's no style points. So that's the first thing that I'll say. Now let's get into, Now let's get into my first trade. We got to pan this all the way out so you guys can actually see what the hell was going on here. How ridiculous of a move this actually was. So we'll start this off with this BPTH with the big gap up, the gap and go. We gapped up and just exploded from 17 all the way up to almost 24. Okay, and then we were halted. I don't chase opening bell momentum, so I let the stock make this push. Didn't even try to get in. I don't want to try to get in. I don't like those opening bell pushes like that because I'm not really sure where my stop loss is. I wait for patterns. Okay, I wait for the opening bell momentum to settle down. After that, I actually tried getting long on this tail. Okay, on this pullback right here, right off the trading halt, right down into VWAP. I actually tried getting long. I did not get filled. I was at 20.25. I did not get filled. It went down to 20.62, and right from 20.62 exploded all the way up to a high of the day of 29. Okay, so now I drew out my Fibonacci retracement level. My mouse is sticking right up to that $29 level. Okay, now what I want to talk to you about here is when I did not get this fill, I was pissed. Okay, I missed this fill by like 30 cents. Okay, 30 cents on BPTH is literally like the width of a human hair. With the spread on this thing was $1 at some points. So just to give you an idea of how insignificant that actually was, me missing that fill, I was pissed because it went right to 29. Okay, that was like an $8.50. It would have been an $8.50 move like that, and I didn't get the fill, so I was upset about it. I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't kick and scream because always remember, guys, if a stock is truly strong, you will get more than one chance. You'll get more than one crack at it. Okay, so when you miss a trade like that, don't get upset, don't get frustrated, stay focused. Okay, look for your next opportunity because if the stock's truly strong, it's going to give you multiple chances to buy that stock. Okay, so I stayed focused. The first thing that I noticed, okay, was wow, that was amazing support at VWAP. Okay, off that trading halt, we dipped down, touched VWAP, and exploded up to 29. 8.5 point move like that off that VWAP. Then we pulled in and we halted again right here. So now, while the stock is halted here, I drew up my Fibonacci level, and I'm saying to myself, wow, look at this now. Now we've got VWAP, the trade line, and the 38.2 Fibonacci level all lining up right at that 22.50 area. That's my new buying zone. Okay? That's where I'm looking to get long off that trading halt. While the stock was halted, I went through this entire game plan with all of our members because I said this might happen so quickly that I wanted to talk everyone through what my plan was before it happened, because once it opened up for trading, this stock was moving so quickly, so rapidly, so violently that sometimes it would be kind of difficult for me to actually talk through it and what I was doing at that moment. So I gave everyone, guys, this is my plan. This is what I'm going to do if this happens. And we were spot on. We were spot on with this open up off the trading halt. We pulled in all that support down there, those three indicators, and that's where I got long my first piece on my first trade of the day. Here you guys can see long a tier. Let me zoom in. All right, so my tier 1 entry was at 23.59, okay? And I'm going to add tier 2 through the $25 area, okay? So right here, let me delete that. Right here was my tier 1 entry. Okay, there's my tier 1 entry. I'm risking it back down to like the 50 Fibonacci level where this previous tail was. There's my tier 1. I say if we get back above 25, which, okay, if we get back above this halt price was 24.48. So that's why I said if we get back through that, I'm going to add to the position. So we got through that. I added, okay, once we got back above that halt price, back right through 25. Okay, so there's the add, and then we start to push up towards the high of the day. As soon as we pushed up, we immediately popped like $2, so I just took some off the table. I mean, it was moving around so quickly, I was just like, oh, wow. I was like, okay. Right there, 27.25. Okay, I took some off. That's already, my tier 1 was at 23.59. Okay, I mean, we're already up to 27. So I was like, okay, well, I'm up $3.50 a share, whatever it is. I'm going to take some off the table. All right, so I took some off right there. And then we pulled back in. And now the lesson I'm going to go over with you is adjusting your stop loss on your tiers and when you add to your positions. Because when I add to a position, I'm not giving that piece that I added all the way back down to my original stop loss. When I trade in tiers, guys, when I enter a tier 1 position, my tier 2 is at least double my tier 1. So if I bought 1,000 shares on my tier 1, I'm buying 2,000 shares on my tier 2, which will take me to a full position of 3,000 shares. Okay? I'm not prepared to hold all 3,000 shares all the way back down to that original stop loss. Okay? I'm just not. So once we pulled back down below that halt price and got back below 25, I exited that piece that I added. And now I'm back down to a small tier 1 size position. And now I'm sticking back to my original stop loss on that piece. When you add to positions, Okay, and I like to add to positions as a stock works in my favor, not as a stock is going against me. Okay, I never recommend that anybody adds. I never recommend that new and inexperienced traders average down. Experienced traders, yes, there are times when averaging down makes sense. I do it sometimes, but it's nothing that I suggest a new or inexperienced trader does. I don't teach. I only go over averaging down with our experienced members into trading group, members that are already profitable, that are looking to take their trading to the next level. Those are the people that I go over averaging down with. If you're a new inexperienced trader, you're still trying to find your way, please don't ever do it, because there's certain times when it makes sense, there's certain times when it's a death trap, and it requires an extra level of risk management that a lot of inexperienced traders do not yet have. So that's why I don't suggest that any of that they do it. Okay. But anyway, that's kind of what this lesson is about. So when I add to my position, you've got to manage that risk on that piece differently. You almost have to manage the risk as a separate trade. Okay, so I exited that piece, okay, here, and I'm back down to a small size position, and we pull in, and what do we see happens? We hold VWAP again. Now, VWAP is showing me, guys, that this is a strong area of support. It showed it to me here. That was my first sign that VWAP was strong support. That's the whole premise behind me getting long on the first place on that first pullback down into VWAP, the 38.2, and the trade line. We pull in again, and it holds support again. At this point, what I did was I took a little trend line, and I drew a trend right down across these lower highs. And you can see we started to form a little bit of a wedge pattern. Okay, with these lows, here's your lower highs, here's your higher lows, with the support of VWAP and the 38.2 kind of holding this together. I then said to everybody in chat, I go, gang, listen, this is when we were trading right in here. I said, gang, listen, if we hold this VWAP area and we break up and out of this downtrend resistance line, I'm adding back, getting into a full-size position. So that's exactly what happened. We got up through this downtrend line. We got back above 25. I added back to the position right here. Okay, I added back to the position, and then you can see the trade line comes into play, and the trade line starts to act as a beautiful area of support to hold the stock up and then push it up through the high of the day. I'll take you back to my trade announcements. Here you guys can see I took more profit off 26.75, 27.50. This is after I added back to the position. Okay, this was when I added back to the position. And then at 10:39 a.m. at 29.90, when we broke through the high of the day, I sold the bulk of my position. Right. Oh, let me pan this over. That's so ridiculous. This chart is so ridiculous. So right here was the bulk of my position there, 29.90. Back to my trade announcements, and my final take profit at 33.51 as we extended up right there was my final take profit. My target on this trade was like 32.50. So once we shot through 32.50, we started to extend away from the trade line a little bit. You see how tight the stock was to the trade line, and then it started to extend away from it. I said, okay, I'm going to take it here. My final take profit was there at 33.51, and you see this happened later. Halt, 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 and this thing just continued to squeeze higher and higher and higher, all the way up to a high of the day of 73.52. So you guys want to talk about leaving money on the table? I mean, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. But this takes me to my next lesson. Okay? There were a lot of people in chat today. Literally, there were people in chat today that had their biggest days ever, and they were still upset with themselves. And I'm like, how could you guys be upset with yourselves? You just made an amazing trade, had your biggest day ever, and they're upset because they sold too soon. They sold at 30. They sold at 35. They sold at 40. Okay, we actually had one member that held until 70, which is just nuts. An amazing trade. You know who you are. If I'm not sure if you actually, I don't know if the member follows the YouTube channel or not, but we actually had a member that held till 70, which is just insane. But the lesson I'm talking to you guys about now, it's not really even a lesson. It's just something that I really want to say to make sure that people understand. If you traded BPTH today and you made money, and it wasn't like luck. I mean, you had a game plan. You approached the trade the right way. managed your risk, took your profits, and you executed the trade properly, pat yourself on the back. This was an extremely volatile trade. It was not an easy trade. This consolidation, when we built that pennant pattern, is like a $7 range. It's like a $7 range from 22 to 29. That's not an easy range to deal with, that level of volatility of the up and downs. Yeah, sure, it looks kind of clean now after the fact, but before that, when it was doing this, it was tough. That's a big range. So if you were able to make this trade, congratulations, pat yourself on the back. And it's important that you do that because self-confidence is everything as a trader. You can't literally make the best trade you've ever made and then still be negative about it because you feel like you didn't hold on to the stock long enough. Pat yourself on the back because self-confidence is key. It's crucial. Not to mention, a stock like BPTH, this isn't normal. Stocks don't normally open at 17 and hit 73 in the same day. So you can't base your trading style to try to catch those moves. Because I guarantee you, if you tried to buy the bottom and sell the top of this BPTH, the habit that will create for you is going to be so detrimental to the long-term success of your trading. I guarantee you, if you bought the dead low of the low of the day today was 1701. The high of the day was 73.52. Let's say you bought 1701 and then you sold 73.52. You low ticked and high ticked this stock today. I guarantee you the habit that will cause for you of you holding on to your positions too long. I guarantee you, come talk to me in 2 or 3 months, you will have lost everything that you made today and then some. Because this is not what stocks normally do. You can't plan for this. Okay, you can use the tier trading method to stay in the trade longer, recognize the short squeeze when it's happening, recognize the share structure, recognize the short position, recognize the momentum, and then hold on to a bigger chunk of the trade. The home run trades will come, but you can't go up to the plate every single time looking for a home run. That is how you strike out the most, and it will cost you more money in the long run than you will make on that one specific trade. I promise you. Okay, so please be happy with the profit that you made. Guys, I sold my final piece at 33.51 and went to 73. If I caught that entire move, or even $10 or $20 more of that move with the size that I had, I would take off for the next 2 months. Okay, but it's not what happened. But I had the biggest day of the year, of my year so far, so I'm happy. I'm happy. You know, the kind of money that you make today, it takes people at regular jobs, you know, they'll make that in a year. They'll make that in several months of working. You got to put things into perspective a little bit, guys, and pat yourself on the back. Even if you made a small amount of money today, if you made a couple $100, think about other people out there, what they have to go through to make a couple $100 or to make a couple $1,000. Never mind if you're making 10, 20, 30 grand on a stock like this today. Think about what people go through to make that kind of money. You did it in a couple hours. So be happy with that. Pat yourself on the back. It's important that you have that self-confidence. It really, really is. Okay, because you need it. It's important as a trader. So moving on to my next trade. Because like I said, I traded this 3 times. That was only one trade. This is going to be a long video, but god damn, it's a good one. Okay, now we had the halt on the way down. We shot up. We're halted on the way down. You can see we halt. We open up. We halt. We open up. We halt. We open up. We halt. All the way down. There was hardly any stock in this region. I mean, there was stock like at the whole numbers, and that's it. Like when we got to 50, from 50 to 51, there was hardly anything in between. Then from 51 to 52, there was hardly anything in between. All the stock was like chunked at the whole number, and it was just moving on air. Okay, so no surprise that we halt and how rapidly the stock pulled back in. But what I started to recognize now is, okay, I'm expecting air pockets on the way down because it was air pockets on the way up. There were not enough shares traded, okay, at these price points where there's going to be a significant exchange of shares at these levels. So you expect it to open up like the way that it did. Then we pull all the way back down to where? The previous high of the day. The area of consolidation where that's where all the volume took place. That's where all the volume took place today. Okay, so when we get back down to that level, I'm expecting, okay, I know now the market's going to thicken up down at this level because there was a lot of shares traded at this area earlier in the day. And the other thing that you notice is there is VWAP. Now, we already know VWAP is a tremendous area of support because it showed it to us all morning. Okay, all morning VWAP showed us support, so we know that's a support level. Expect it when it comes back to it. Now, but it's not just VWAP by itself. It's VWAP plus the initial morning, the previous high of the day. Okay, the previous high of the day, which you can maybe say it's the initial morning high because you had that halt in there, kind of messes up a little bit, but either way, it's a previous high. And that's where the short squeeze started once you broke through that level. So when we pulled back down here, now I got to zoom this all the way in so you guys can really see because that's how crazy this chart is. But when you see here, we opened up off this trading halt. We held. I got long right there at $30. $30 I got long. I'll take you to my trade announcements. At 12:14, let me zoom in. At 12:14 p.m., I'm long at $30, stop loss 27. Okay? This is all about a calculated risk. This is all about understanding I'm risking $3 to make 10. Okay? And I'm understanding how violently we pulled all the way back in, and we're pulling into major support on the intraday with VWAP, which is major support earlier in the morning, and now I've got the previous high of the day, which all of these air pockets are going to, I feel like there's a lot more shares here because of this consolidation period earlier in the day. This is a safe bet. Okay, this is a calculated risk. It's a calculated trade. I got long at 30. We immediately pushed up, and right before we halted, okay, I saw when we were about to halt, I dropped some right before the halt at 32.88. Okay, just to be safe. I don't like holding my full position into a halt. So if I'm in full position and the stock's about to halt, I usually drop some because I just don't like full exposure going into a trading halt. Okay, so once we open up, we shoot up this nice strong green candle. I take more profit off on this candle right here at 38. I wanted to get out of some before this previous halt price around 39.50. So I took some off there at 38. Okay, back to my trade announcements. Here you guys see I took some off at 38. And then at 12:30, my final take profit at 44.20. This is just a ridiculous move. 44.20 right there. This is just insane. This is a $14 move, and it happened in like 15 minutes. It's just ridiculous. It's so crazy how this stock was moving around today. So that was the second time that I traded BPTH today. There's another one. Now let's zoom this back out. I'm going to go and delete all this. And let's pan this over because what did we do? We went back down and we tested this VWAP $29 area again. Okay, VWAP showing us support. Once again, we get down here, VWAP support. We get down here, VWAP support. Now I'm saying to myself, I'm going to look for this to make another push in the afternoon. Why? How to identify a stock is going to make a push later in the afternoon. When you are looking for afternoon moves, during lunchtime, I scan the market and I look for stocks that were really strong in the morning and are holding key support levels all throughout lunchtime. Lunchtime's 12 to 2. Okay, in this case, the key support level was VWAP and the previous high of the day. And all throughout lunchtime, here's 12 to 2, 1, 2, 3 times it held that support level. It's exactly what I want to see for a stock as we come out of lunchtime. So right in here, I got long a tier 1 position right here. Back to my trade announcements at 153. I'm long a tier 1 at 34, adding tier 2 at 35.50. Okay, so there's my tier 1. I think it was actually on this red candle, to be honest with you. I think it was this red candle. So there's my tier 1 entry. Okay, I wanted to add through 35.50. This happened so damn fast that I couldn't. Through 35.50, and the reason why I'm trying to add through 35.50 is you guys can see this little previous support. We broke below it, we came back, and then you can see this area was acting as a little resistance. So I said if I can get through that, I'm going to add to a full position instead of just a tier 1. But it happened so quickly I couldn't even get any shares off. I didn't get filled until like 36.40 right in here. So almost a full dollar above where I wanted to add to this position. But nonetheless, look at the move that we get. And this looks like a small move if you didn't see the price, but these are huge moves. So then I start taking profit. Took some off at 38, and then took more off at 41. So here's, 38, 41, and then I held on to one last piece, and I sold out of that last piece right here at 39. I was trying to see if we were going to break back through like 45.50. I thought this was a key level, okay, because you had this previous little low there. When you see that huge tail showing you a little bit of support, after we broke through it, you can see it became resistance, okay, and we were holding resist. I'm looking to see if we got back above that. That's why I was holding on to one last piece, because I thought we had a chance to get back up into the 50s if we got above 45.50. I feel like that was a pretty key area. So that's why I was holding on to one last piece, but we weren't able to break it. So when we rolled it over, I just exited my last piece there at 39. And that's my day. 3 trades on BPTH, 3 big wins, and that's how I get my biggest day of the year. I mean, it was just an insane day. These days, they just happen. You know, that's why I say the home runs will come. I didn't come into the day expecting BPTH to go to $73. Okay? No, I didn't come into the day expecting a home run, but the home runs come. And if you just stick to your rules, you stay disciplined, you wait for your setups, you execute your game plan, you'll hit the home runs. Think about it. I had my biggest day ever, and I didn't sell BPTH at 60, 65, 70, but I still have my biggest day of the year. So it kind of puts it into perspective a little bit. You don't have to catch that entire move to have a great day, and the home runs will come. You just can't go into the day looking for them. So I hope this video helps. I expect small caps to be on fire again tomorrow. Small caps today were red hot. Like I said, BPTH, SEAL, GTXI, ALT, ARQL, they were just on fire today. I will be looking at small caps again tomorrow. As long as BPTH doesn't do an offering, they'll probably still be in play, but the company is very low on cash. I would be surprised if they did not do an offering. I feel like they absolutely need to. Why would you not? But we'll see. If they don't do one, this will still be in play. All right? So hell of a day. For those that caught this move, congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. Enjoy it because you earned it. All right? And I'll see everyone in chat tomorrow. Take care.